3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, she's forcing me to do this.
Stop.
And then we got Angel Reese's dumbass. Now, she's just stupid. I feel bad for Angel Reese.
Like, people gonna say that about you. They're like, oh, you're my favorite.
No, I am their favorite.
Angel Reese cares more about influencing than she does about basketball. Now, you can't necessarily say the same about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark understands that people are tuning into her, how she's going to transform what is happening in the WNBA, and the WNBA needs to embrace her more because she's going to get them women paid.
Who's the best player in the country?
To the media or me?
As you see it.
I feel like I'm the best player in the country.
But every time you see something relative to Angel Reese, what's it about? It's about her. It's not about her team. One makes it about her. The other makes it about us.
Drama, attention, and the relentless pursuit of the spotlight, Angel Reese seems to have mastered the art of staying in the headlines, but at what cost? From deleting her Instagram to fuel speculation, to reappearing with a Vogue cover and bold posts that scream, "Look at me."
Angel Reese is on the cover.
You're telling me this is sports and Angel Reese is like top of sports? Like she's the face of influential sports? I mean, that literally renders that issue in that publication stupid and useless. Sorry.
The only time that we tend to notice her is when she has said something A, about Caitlin Clark, and B, it seems to be stupid.
Reese continues to blur the line between being a basketball player and a walking publicity stunt.
I think Angel Reese want to sell pussy. Yeah, I think Angel Reese really don't want to play basketball. I think she want to sell pussy.
She put a video up on the Instagram, her in some booty shorts for Christmas. All right, the same person that come out and said she didn't want to be sexualized, and I think Charleston White is trying to make a point.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, the true star of the WNBA, lets her skills on the court speak louder than any photo shoot ever could.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So, like I said, like, I try to just be real and authentic and, share my truth. And I think that's very easy for me. Like, I'm very comfortable in my own skin. And that's kind of been how it is my entire life. Yes.
Today, we're diving deep into how Reese's desperate bid for attention contrasts with Clark's relentless focus on her game. Buckle up as we expose the real story behind Angel Reese's latest Instagram antics and how they only prove what Clark's fans have been saying all along.
Let's face it, like it or not, Angel Reese is riding Caitlin Clark's coattails. But Angel Reese should be thanking her lucky stars that Caitlin Clark came along, because she's making Angel Reese a lot of money and she's getting Angel Reese attention.
Angel Reese's recent Instagram antics are nothing short of a calculated move to keep herself in the spotlight. Deleting her account right after facing backlash for her New Year's Eve outfit was a clear attempt to stir curiosity and ensure her name stayed relevant.
Everything that Angel Reese does would lead you to believe that she is less interested in what you do on the basketball court and more interested in making sure that she build up a following and try to sexualize herself.
What Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean, like a maniac.
The sudden disappearance of her profile sent fans and critics alike into a frenzy, with endless speculation about her motives. Was she overwhelmed by criticism? Or was this just another strategic move in her playbook to garner attention?
Let's face reality.
Well, we have to remember one thing. She's not Caitlin Clark.
If Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when LSU was beating Iowa, if that hadn't happened, Angel Reese's name might not be as big. Yes, she would have made the WNBA. But in terms of her popularity, it really soared after she took down Caitlin Clark. And then Caitlin Clark came back and got revenge by knocking LSU out. She's going to be attached to Caitlin Clark to some degree.
Fast forward a few days, and Reese made a triumphant return to Instagram. Not with an apology or humility, but by flaunting her latest career milestone, a Vogue cover. This return wasn't just about fashion, it was a loud and calculated statement. I'm here and you can't ignore me. While her followers were quick to rally behind her, one can't help but question the authenticity of it all. Is Reese genuinely unbothered by the criticism, or is she thriving on the drama she creates?
Even though she's not Caitlin Clark, she's going to be reminded she's not Caitlin Clark with every good thing that Caitlin Clark does.
Her actions speak volumes about her priorities. Instead of focusing on improving her performance on the basketball court, Reese seems more interested in maintaining her relevance through social media buzz and flashy headlines. In stark contrast, Caitlin Clark is busy honing her craft.
And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. She's a Rookie of the Year. She was one of the finalists for the league MVP honors as a rookie, breaking all types of records. She should have been on Team USA. Her brand building has been incredibly impressive.
Putting in the hard work during practice and delivering exceptional performances during games. This difference is what separates a player like Clark, who is celebrated for her talent, from someone like Reese, who is constantly chasing validation through external means.
Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being objectified later on. It's not going to work.
Angel Reese's rise to fame is rooted more in controversy and calculated stunts than in her basketball prowess. The infamous NCAA championship game where Reese mocked Caitlin Clark was the moment she became a household name, but not because of her skills. It was Clark's star power that amplified the incident as Reese seized the opportunity to ride the wave of Clark's popularity.
And when you do stuff like that and you're drawing attention to yourself because of that, that can be problematic for you, especially when the comparison is going to be drawn to Caitlin Clark, who isn't doing such things.
This pattern has defined her career, using drama to remain in the spotlight rather than focusing on her game.
And you certainly have the right to dress how you want and to do what you want and to live your life. But people have a right to have their opinions about what you put on display. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it.
Reese's tendency to create buzz extends beyond the court. Whether it's her bold fashion choices or provocative social media posts, she's mastered the art of staying talked about.
Angel Reese is taking the gas station. She doesn't like to stop at gas stations because she's so pretty and everybody wants her. Can you just post stuff with you having a basketball?
Look, this is why I don't like going to the gas station because people always rolling up on my car.
At least she actually has some clothes on in this video. Ain't seen a basketball in her hands all off season.
Her fans often point to her balancing basketball and fashion as proof of her versatility, but in reality, these stunts overshadow her athletic achievements. Critics, including respected voices like ESPN's Stephen A. Smith, have noted that Reese's actions frequently detract from her credibility as a serious athlete.
She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She is in this age where she does know social media exists, and she has exploited it to her advantage. That means you're mindful of the imagery and the perception that you're assisting in creating about yourself.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has remained laser-focused on basketball. Her work ethic and dedication to the game are what make her a true star. Clark doesn't need to rely on flashy outfits or social media drama to draw attention. Her performance on the court speaks for itself.
Have you ever noticed we never hear about the sexualization of Caitlin Clark? Why don't we see Caitlin Clark being sexualized? Because Caitlin Clark doesn't allow it.
Her modesty and professionalism have earned her admiration, not just from fans, but from fellow athletes and analysts alike. This stark contrast highlights Reese's reliance on theatrics to stay relevant, as opposed to Clark's natural ability to shine through talent and discipline.
She was seen during various interviews and what have you, talking about threats, talking about insults, crying about how people were coming at her with such venom and hostility, particularly in her last year at LSU. She brought up all of these things, which means she was aware of it. And if you're aware of it, you have to understand that that's going to be part of the judgment that comes against you, fair or unfair.
This is Angel Reese begging to be noticed.
After the season, and when I was in my press conference and I was talking about being sexualized, like I guess people thought that was like because I post pictures in my bathing suits. No, like multiple occasions people have made AI pictures of me like naked.
She claimed to be sexualized. What is that? Drama. Total drama.
One of the most glaring contrasts between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark lies in their fan bases. Clark's supporters admire her for her unmatched skills, discipline, and dedication to the game. They tune in to see her set records, deliver clutch performances, and elevate the WNBA to new heights. Her approach to basketball is pure and focused, practicing, improving, and performing on the court without distractions.
Angel Reese is saying the exact opposite of, I'll just embrace it, I'll be the bad guy. I mean, maybe this is the long play of her actually embracing it and being the bad guy by posting something like this, and we'll talk about her. But in episode 1 of her podcast, for the actual logo and the image that went along with the podcast, there's Caitlin Clark on it. Caitlin Clark's in the headline because of the clicks. And here is Angel Reese getting clicks again.
But Angel Reese should be thanking her lucky stars that Caitlin Clark came along, because she's making Angel Reese a lot of money and she's getting Angel Reese attention.
On the other hand, Reese's fan base seems more drawn to her off-court persona than her game. Her daring fashion choices and controversial social media posts often overshadow her basketball performance. While Clark is inspiring future athletes with her skill and sportsmanship, Reese is drawing attention for reasons that have little to do with the game. Even Reese's most viral moments, like her Vogue cover or her provocative red carpet appearances, are more about creating spectacle than showcasing athletic excellence.
If you compare and contrast Angel Reese to Caitlin Clark is the type of person to where she would be putting up shots in the gym with nobody around, trying to get her game better. Angel Reese is the type of person to go to the gym with a camera crew so that she can document it for the gram and for TikTok. But you can't then complain about how people react to it.
Reese's bold fashion often garners comments that detract from her credibility as an athlete, with critics accusing her of pandering to attention rather than focusing on her craft. Some even argue that her popularity is less about basketball and more about shock value, comparing her provocative outfits to those of an OnlyFans model. While she insists that she's redefining what it means to be a modern athlete, her constant need to court controversy undermines this claim.
She's literally held up an outline after getting waxed. Oh yes, please tell me how sexualized you are.
She did retweet this tweet from SZA. Your life is yours, not anybody else.
And then she want to go over and say, your life is yours and all of that. That mean that you affected. Usually what happens is if you don't like how people are reacting to you, then you change the type of content that you're putting out there.
This divide between the two players' fan bases highlights a deeper issue. Reese's reliance on publicity stunts contrasts sharply with Clark's authenticity and talent-driven appeal. For Clark, success is earned through hard work and consistent performance. For Reese, it seems success is manufactured through drama, leaving fans and critics to question what truly defines greatness in the WNBA.
And y'all just don't like women, because Angel Reese is gorgeous.
We just don't like how hypocritical you are once you advocated becoming equal with men and you wanted the same pay and you wanted the same visibility, but you don't want the criticism that come along with it. Charleston White was right. She markets herself as a woman similarly to how they market themselves on OF versus a person that is supposed to be in the WNBA. And if y'all want to change the image of the WNBA, then y'all gonna have to do it differently. Otherwise, y'all making yourselves look bad.
As we step back and examine the stark contrast between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, it becomes clear why their paths have led to such different perceptions. Reese thrives on the noise, whether it's deleting and reactivating her Instagram to generate buzz or dressing provocatively to draw attention. Her career is a patchwork of moments designed to keep her name in the headlines, often overshadowing her actual contributions to basketball. While some may celebrate her as a trailblazer for blending sports and fashion, others see these antics as distractions from what should be her primary focus, excelling on the court.
It's not all about sharing everything. It's about actually keeping a lot of this stuff intimate and private. Personally, I wouldn't wear that because that's not the way I want to be represented. She's literally held up an outline after getting waxed. Oh yes, please tell me how sexualized you are. I understand. You want to wear it. You feel great about it. You got a great body. You play in the WNBA, but you cannot cry. You cannot say anything.
Caitlin Clark, however, represents the other side of the coin. She doesn't need publicity stunts to stay relevant because her performances are enough to do the talking. From breaking records to leading her team to victory, Clark's focus has always been on basketball. She's earned her place as a star through sheer talent and hard work, not by relying on theatrics or controversy. Her modesty and professionalism stand as a testament to what true greatness looks like in sports.
Caitlin Clark is treated like a professional basketball player because that's how she presents herself to the public. With Angel Reese, it's the complete opposite.
Reese's recent Instagram stunt only reinforces the narrative her critics have long maintained, that her career is fueled by a desire for attention rather than a passion for the game. While Caitlin Clark quietly works to perfect her craft and inspire future generations, Reese is busy creating waves online, hoping to stay relevant through spectacle.
I don't even think that pays one of my bills. I don't even know my salary. I'm living beyond my means. No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
Whether directly or indirectly, there's always eyes on you. What they're paying attention to because they're trying to measure what your intentions are based off of what they see.
Ultimately, the difference between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark comes down to legacy. Clark's will be defined by her records, her influence on the game, and her ability to inspire others.
That idiot Angel Reese is trying so hard to latch on to Caitlin Clark by being the heel and then crying about it. You all did this. You all called her a white bitch constantly. You all did this.
Caitlin Clark is different from any other player we have ever seen in the women's game, and it starts with the distance with which she shoots the basketball. We've never seen a player shoot from that deep range with that kind of efficiency.
Caitlin Clark has been the best thing, the most dominant thing to happen to the WNBA ever. Remember, there's been good players come out of college, but nobody really cared. We'd seen it. Nobody really cared.
Now, another award that Caitlin Clark just won this week is the 2024 Sports Business Journal Best Sports Business Athlete, and that went to Caitlin Clark. Clark is only the fourth women's basketball player to be honored as the Female Athlete of the Year since it was first presented in 1931, joining Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, and Candace Parker. The impact and just success that she has had this year is insane.
And I think that's the dope thing about Caitlin, too, because regardless of the scrutiny they put on her name, every time she's came out and spoken in public, she said, hey, I'm good, but we need to push the league. And like you said, she did a lot of vocal stuff that helped a lot of black women in the process, man.
Angel Reese cares more about influencing than she does about basketball. Now, you can't necessarily say the same about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark understands that people are tuning into her, how she's going to transform what is happening in the WNBA, and the WNBA needs to embrace her more because she's going to get them women paid.
Reese's, however, risks being remembered as one built on controversy and fleeting moments of viral fame. And as time goes on, the question will remain, which path truly embodies the spirit of basketball greatness?
I'm talking about overall pressure of having to be compared as a brand to somebody who's conducting their branding with near perfection.
I don't want Nike turning her down because they don't see her as someone that's marketable, because
neither do I.
You know, and that's
Let this serve as a reminder of what real stardom looks like. Talent, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. And while the noise around Angel Reese may fade, Caitlin Clark's legacy will continue to shine as a beacon of what it means to truly love the game.
Caitlin Clark has taken so much crap from so many types of players this season, pretty much from every team she's faced. Players realize that if they attack Caitlin Clark, their names are too going to be in the headlines. Problem is you have all of these players, Angel Reese, for example. You have Alyssa Thomas fueling the ideas of racial abuse by fans, but there's no real evidence of it. Brittany Griner speaking out against it. It's, the fans are calling us this, they're shouting these things. Did anybody hear any of these racial slurs happening or these racist actions by fans? The evidence wasn't there, so how are you going to talk about it if there's no evidence, right?
There is no race. And guess what? Those aren't fans. The people that are doing that, if they're doing that, they're just idiots. And if you're going to be popular, if you're going to be in the public eye, you're going to have a lot of idiots.